Yeah, we can hear you very well.
All right, so now we are finally live on YouTube, and I just wanted to. Okay, Laura is there already. Laura, are we audible properly? Can you see? Okay,
I don't
wonderful.
think. Well, for the record, Laura is sitting here with us in the office, so I'm not sure she's going to be a good judge of whether we are. Oh, perfect! But she also can hear us probably through earphones, so she's having our back. Thank you, Laura.
Thank you so much, Laura. And we also be having Sneha and Shania joining us on YouTube live stream. And Sneha or Shania would be chatting with you on the live chat. So please look forward to it. And now I will quickly go to the introduction part, meaning if you already can see the setup here, we have three beautiful faces on the screen. We have Marketer right here, and I am there. So I'll start with the learners panels because it is Learners for Life live streaming. Today is the third session, and today's topic is how to deal with feeling of exclusion. Meaning, if ever you have felt left out in your life, our panel will be giving you tips, will be sharing some real life experiences. So, looking forward to hearing from them. Now, coming on the this setup, you can see, I will be introducing Rahul. Rahul is there. Rahul is from Prerna College, and he is joining us from Nagpur. And here we have Digvijay. Digvijay is from GL Vijay Institute of Management, which is in Greater Noida. And not to forget, we have our beautiful special guest, Anna, and she is a certified life and career coach. And she's like the best person to be talking on this topic, and that is the reason she's here. And she's joining us from Greece. So, Anna, would you like to say some words to start?
Yes, welcome everybody who's watching this. I'm glad that I got invited in this panel. I'm curious to see. This is a multifaceted, complex topic. I don't know if we have enough time to unpack the whole thing, but it will be. I love embracing challenges, so it'll be very interesting to learn as much as we can from each other and share and kind of brainstorm ideas. I love when we co-create strategies. Hopefully, I'll share some. But before I dive into that, I would love to see kind of where you guys are at, what you have been dealing with, what are your thoughts, and then I'll kind of collaborate and co-create with you guys if you're fine with that. But yeah, very interesting topic and very important from an HR perspective as well, which is why we thrive and why we emphasize so much on inclusion and diversity. Like I said, we could be excluded from different aspects, whether it's educational, whether it's socio-economical, ethnic background, ageism, um, you name it, right?
Yeah.
Socioeconomic reasons. There's many different ways, but it all stems essentially to the similar idea of where it comes from. It doesn't matter where the setting takes place, like exclusion.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean, I'm curious to learn to kind of get things started. What is exclusion in your guys' opinion, Raul and Benjamin? How do I pronounce your name? I want to make sure that I pronounce it correctly during the session. Vijay or
Yeah, it's Digvijay.
Vijay? Excellent. Okay.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm
Wonderful.
excited to get into this.
Thank you, Anna. Thank you, Digvijay. Thank you, Rahul. Quickly, here we have Marketa. She is VP at Employability Life and Ultimate Learners Ambassador. If you don't know me, I am also working with Employability Life as a marketing consultant. My name is Gunjan, and apart from this job, you will find me hosting some external events or building some businesses brands. So that's what I do apart from this job. And now I will go back to Marketa. Marketa, please, could you please set the scene, and then we will go for the questions.
Thank you very much, Gunjan. Yes, as you can see, we are here very. We wear many hats in the company. Today we are acting as some YouTube, social media, very savvy people. But those who witnessed how good we are at it will make their own judgment. But on that note, I just want to request Shania, please. Thank you for being with us. We are so happy you're with us. If you could kindly. Also go on Instagram, because we have kind of done this experiment and try to stream this on Instagram as well. So if there will be some question we won't pick up, please, if you can moderate, that would be amazing. Otherwise, thank you everyone who has joined us. I'm very happy to see Shivang. Hi Shivang, thank you for joining us. Also, thank you Mahek for being there as well. And yeah, anybody else who is yet to come. And again, maybe time to time, please, Gunjan, have a look who's there with us on Instagram, because we should also say hello there too.
Yeah.
And so setting a scene, again, I sort of promised myself I will not talk too much, because I'm really looking forward to hear from Digvijay, who, by the way, I think is the inspiration for today's topic. He found that interesting, and I'm very interested what I will learn and what we will share from about each other, etc., and learn from each other. We are trying to keep this very positive, but it can be quite serious topic. It's if somebody feels excluded, left out, and it feels bad, it's completely important to acknowledge that it can happen to you, and you can have those feelings. Somebody may call it bad feelings, negative feelings, whatever. So it's okay not to be always happy. So that's why we are here, to just sort of tell you, whatever you're feeling, you're not alone. You're not alone in it. We may all actually have those moments when we feel excluded or not part of something, or somewhere where we don't belong for whatever reason. So what that means, that may be different for everyone. So let's hear from each other what that means for us, and what we can maybe do about it to feel better, or, as I said, not feel alone, if anything. Thank you, Gunjan.
Thank you so much, Makita. So now this is the first, not a question, but a discussion point to ask to our panel. The question is, can you describe a time when you felt excluded? How did you handle that situation? So I would first go with Digvijay, and then Rahul, and then Anna, because we will learn from learners first, and then Anna, please you add on your expert perspective, and then we will see what audience has to say on that. So Digvijay, this is your topic. You inspired us to be on that topic. So what is your take on this question?
Yeah, so as Marketa said, this topic is might not be important for some people, but it is really sensitive to people who have faced this. As also me, as I'm an introverted person, I find it difficult to communicate with people and to start to push a conversation with them. So I often, in my starting days, I often felt excluded from a group of people from the college. There are, it was like hundreds of people around me, but no one to talk to. So it was very difficult for me to indulge in those groups. But later, day by day, I understood that rather than focusing on them, I should focus on myself first, and then I should try to talk to them. It's really important for you to focus on yourself first.
Thank you, Digvijay. Rahul, so I'll come on you. What is your take on this? Like, have you ever felt left out in your life? And if it is yes, how did you handle that situation?
Yeah, if I had to answer that, I would like to share one of my experiences. So, back in my school days, everyone was crazy about sports at that time, and like I was not very enthusiastic towards sports. And whenever they used to hold conversations about it, and I tried to join their conversations. So they would ignore me and did not let me enter into the conversation or discussion. So that was the first time when I felt like I was not welcomed there, and it sort of impacted me in such a way that I felt left out. And the thing I did to overcome that was I convinced myself that this feeling of exclusion shouldn't matter to me that much, because everybody has their own interests and hobbies, and I should reach out to the people who have the same interests as me. Yeah.
Wonderful. Anna, what do you say? Yeah, please go on.
Is it my turn now?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you guys so much for sharing. It seems to me you already have some good coping strategies, and I'm glad that you guys have the knowledge and the awareness to kind of assess and to figure out what works best for you. This is certainly, like I said, as Marquetta said, it's not the happiest of topic, and that's okay. I don't want to get too dark and deep, but I'm going to share mine as well. and how I didn't deal with it well at that time because I was such a young kid, and how that impacted me later on in my life. So there was a civil war, of course, in former Yugoslavia, where I'm from originally, and we had to escape last minute, and we went to Belgrade. I've joined a new class. Now, being the same religion, Serbian Orthodox, as my former Belgrade student, I was very young. I must have been maybe 7 or 8, maybe 9. Actually, 7 or 8, yeah. Anyways, when I came to the class, because I had a different dialect and were considered refugees with these labels, right, that exist these days due to my circumstance, I had a very hard time adapting to that new environment. It was very heavy. It left me feeling very angry, but most importantly, under that anger, I was very hurt that not only did I have to deal with something traumatic that happened that I didn't really choose, on top of that, to deal again being excluded and not treated how I deserve to be treated or what I thought, right, being from the same ethnic background. So at the time, being a kid, of course, I wasn't as wise as you guys to have to implement these wonderful strategies and to know how to cope. My anger led me to at least know how to set a boundary, and I was very adamant and actually very assertive with my no, this is not okay, to the point where it was very like confrontational with the guys. And I had to escalate it with the teacher at the time. How I would deal with that today is totally different, right? Because I was feeling so much hurt, I didn't know what to do with all those feelings. So the first step to this heavier topic and not a difficult topic is to actually go inwards to yourself and to kind of admit your feelings and understand what you're feeling and what they're trying to tell you, to accept the situation as it is. And next, maybe approach the person from an empathetical point of view, like leading with empathy, to have a conversation, to kind of like show my perspective and his perspective and how that makes me feel. So to address the issuer, to see if that could change. Yeah, and if that doesn't work, as you guys mentioned, which I have done, we don't need to pressure and push into of course, belonging is one of the most important Maslow's hierarchy traits for human beings. But we could always go outside to many different activities and circles, whether it's friends and family, to seek that connection and people who understand us, who are willing to include us. And of course, if that doesn't work, there's always professional help as well, such as life coaches and therapists with different coping. There's so many coping strategies that I would love to discuss in this session. But yeah, that's my experience. It was, and actually, just to add to this, not to make it even more, I've noticed that we have to be careful when those circumstances happen to us that we didn't choose again. Sometimes we tend to even exclude ourselves, worrying and trying to protect ourselves from more hurt. So, for example, instead of like being as confident as we once were, we might kind of like exclude ourselves just to protect. That could also leave us. So it is a serious thing if not dealt with the right strategies and coping mechanisms. So yeah, that was my experience. Thank you guys for listening.
Thank you for sharing. Gunjan, I'm gonna check the Instagram. Amazing. In the meantime, I will make a quick comment. So Digvijay, I love what you said about how you felt that you can be in a place that is full of people and yet feel alone. So I really appreciate that, and I'm sure that doesn't happen to everyone. And sometimes when we are in particular situation, it happened to me many times. I was like, oh, why me? And then I'm thinking, why me? But just people in one building, in my apartment building that has about 1,000 flats. I'm sure like every single person there individually in their own rooms, are thinking the same. Why me? So we are definitely not alone, but it's just that there is that particular crowd which points to what Rahul said, which I really love. It's like, fine, so sport wasn't his topic or whatever, but then he had his crowd somewhere. The crowd will find him, the crowd will, maybe it's, as you said, Rahul, it's about shared interest, right? So fine. There are people who, one of our colleagues, she loves to travel and do these very obscure experiences. So I'm sure like she meets there people who also like those things. So she is in the crowd where she can feel comfortable and enjoy. So it's important to be aware of that. As Anna said, again, maybe when we experience that feeling, or what may someone call negative emotion or whatever, just an emotion, I wouldn't necessarily think that there is positive and negative emotion, but we can go into that in some other topics, and somebody more credible would talk about it. But it's an information. That emotion, it's some information, so we should just work with it accordingly, like critically assess what is it telling me, what is it that I should be curious about and perhaps explore. So over to Gunjan.
Yeah. Thank you so much. And on that note, I'll just quickly see who are online with us. So we have some students. Uh, they do not have a proper name, but Bhavi is there, B Result is there. So hi everyone, what is your take on this? Have you ever felt left out in your life? And if you did, how did you handle that situation? Please put that in the chat box. Same there on YouTube as well. Please, tell us what is your take on that? And now I will move forward.
But now I just want to tell you, Gunjan, now that we started in Instagram, we have almost no viewers on YouTube. So you should tell everyone that. No, I have to give context, Anna, what's happening. So we basically, when we started these sessions with Gunjan, we said, let's just do this experiment. Let's do it 3 times. We do it 3 times and then we see how it goes. But if the numbers are like going down, then we should stop doing these. So now the numbers are not going to look good. So that's, just wanted to notice that. But I wanted also to acknowledge that we have Shivang, and Shivang is saying that he thinks that everyone has faced it and it is very sad, but we can manage it by becoming more relevant. Oh, wow. Shivang again goes into his like, I can do it myself, I don't need anybody. Do you need anybody, Shivang? Let us know if because I see like you really are strong, and sometimes, for example, I don't feel like I'm strong enough doing things myself, and I think it also requires a lot of bravery to ask for help. So I would love to hear more from you on that one. And also acknowledge that we also have there someone I haven't said. Hello, Minakshi. Hello, Minakshi. Thank you for joining us as well. Yes, that's it.
Wonderful. Okay, so I'll just go for the next one, and the next one is I would like to ask all 3 of you, what is your specific strategy or technique you use when you feel excluded? So I know you have already answered that question when you started, like how do you handle the situation? But there anything specific that you do to just get over this sort of feeling?
Yeah, I think yeah, yeah. I've noticed this thing that if you create your value among people, then you don't need to go to people. The people will come to you. It's very important to create a value for yourself and also keep yourself busy. You won't even notice that you need people to go and talk to once you're busy enough. Just go learn something, keep yourself occupied. It will also benefit you.
That's excellent advice. It's so good that you're kind of going inwards and depending on yourself. But let me challenge you for a second if we have time. What if you're in a workplace situation and of course you're creating value, but as we know that there's maybe discrimination, there's ageism, there's all kinds of exclusions that happen since you guys are preparing for your career. It's not fair. Your value's there, you're talented, you're amazing, you're good looking, you're smart. What do you do that, let's say, a group at a workplace is excluding you? What are some strategies, or what do you think you could do, even though you've created value?
Yeah, I think there's a limit for everything. Okay, so I think once it reaches that limit or exceeds that limit, then you should just go for another thing that you love. If someone is not respecting you, then I don't think you shouldn't be in the place in the first place.
That's a good response too. Meaning, like, if you've taken all the steps, if you had a conversation, if you included HR, maybe this workplace is not for you, right?
Yeah.
We should also
Great.
mention that
Yeah,
Anna
sure.
was a HR, so she knows what she's saying. Rahul?
Well, you know what? I like Digvijay's logical approach. I mean, he's correct. If the HR is not doing her job, I mean, it's very complex. The job can mean a lot. It could be it could be the love of your life, right? Like you really found what you love, but just one person is messing things for you. How do you navigate that without you leaving? Because they want you to leave. They want you to be excluded. How do we develop that growth mindset and that mindset overall for you to come to kind of like almost outsmart them and make them your friend? How do you influence them? How do you win despite the challenge?
I think
It's not always, it's great to leave and have boundaries, but it's not always the answer if it means a lot to you and you feel like you have these strategies that we're talking about that we're all trying to collectively learn from.
Let's hear from Rahul.
This is a real life scenario.
Sorry to cut you, Anna. I just want to make sure we give space to Rahul as well. Rahul?
Oh, of course, Rahul, God.
So if I had to specify the strategies that I use on a daily basis to tackle this problem of exclusion, I would say that first of all, I try to like brush off that feeling of exclusion. That is my main mantra. And secondly, I would say that I try to immerse myself in a more welcoming environment to ensure that I get a positive vibe from others. And finally, I would like to say that I would like to say that I surround myself with the people who accept me for who I am and who have the same interests as me, basically. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Wonderful.
I'm also seeing some question
Yeah.
comments here. Do you want me to read it? Or?
Yeah, please.
Yeah. I can-
But I think Anna wants to say something.
Sorry, Anna, go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say thank you so much for sharing. Those are great. That's all.
Okay. Marketer, there is
Yes.
this very beautiful comment on Instagram. Bhavi is there and she says when she felt left out, she calls her mom, and because that gives her courage, and she knows that somebody is already in her or on her side, and that distract herself by looking at like what people are doing with negativity and everything. So that's really nice.
Yeah, no, thank you so much, Bobby, for sharing. Thank you, Bobby.
Do we have any?
Yeah, I'm checking now. So we have Laura commenting maybe on Rahul. Your value isn't determined by others' opinions. Embrace your individuality and find your tribe of like-minded supporters. Yeah. So you're on the right track, Rahul. And then yeah, I think that's it. And Shivang is always also saying maybe mentors. I think everyone has faced it, but it's sad, but we can manage by ourselves or by mentors like you, like us. I start a more hot topic to grab that attention. You got our attention, Shivang? Which is more required, even if it's not always required to be included, because great people have different paths. Different people have different paths. True, and different timing, right? Everybody, like for example, Dikvijay, you have mentioned that you're introvert, which is fascinating because for an introvert, you're quite a public figure, expressing your opinions very confidently and influencing others. You're basically influencer. So, it's also, I'm not going to get into how it's about getting out of comfort zone, but that we all change as well, right? And that's what we should be. We should be constantly changing, learning, trying different things, getting out of comfort zone. Let's get there then, fine. So experience this pain. And I know for Rahul, and Rahul, please correct me because I don't want to speak on your behalf, but when we met through a program that we were running at the Predna College. And when you first started the program, were you comfortable owning a camera? Yes, no, let me know. Whatever it was.
No.
Yeah. Okay, so please.
No, I would. Yeah. Answering your question, I would say that when I started this program, I found out that I couldn't like speak 2 minutes in the front of camera, and I found out that I was very camera shy and introverted. So I used to like practice in front of my camera for like 1 hour, 2 hour, if I can speak well, and where should I like improve myself. I should like speak slowly so that I do not mess up like that. Yeah.
Amazing. And then you face that fear, right? And you facing that fear, I find like many people actually find it most scary to watch themselves actually, right? Or listen to their voice. So like to overcome that fear in the first place, and then on top of it, you actually not only practice, which I really admire, also you are really out here and talking to everyone. That's an achievement of few weeks, I think. So congratulations, Rahul, and thank you so much. And I'm so happy you're sharing it with us. Thank you.
Okay, wonderful. So now we just have like 7 minutes left, and I want to wrap it up. But before wrapping it up, I want to quickly ask you all, like also the audience and our panel, do you have any advice to give to someone who is currently struggling with this sort of feeling, like feeling left out? And if you have any advice to give it to them, and if they doesn't know how to cope up with, so like what will you say to them? So yeah, Digvijay said, I want to say, please, Digvijay, go on.
Yeah, this is what I follow. At the end of the day, if you're not happy with something, that I don't think you should lead on with that. What is the point of doing the thing if you're not happy?
Okay, very deep, but then very practical.
What does it mean being happy, Digvijay?
I mean, when you at night when you're laying on your bed, you think of all the things of your day, and you just want to be happy at the end before sleeping, so that your next day is more joyful. Just
Satisfied
feel
about your day.
relaxed. Yeah, if you're not relaxed while sleeping, that it doesn't feel good.
Basically, at peace with your day. That's what you're saying.
Yeah,
At peace with.
yeah.
Yep.
Okay, Anna,
Keep-
your advice would be very great to hear. Like, what do you advise to the people who are struggling with this sort of feeling? What should they do?
Okay, so I like Digvijay's approach of practical advice and just keeping it very simple. You know, at the end of the day, what are you doing in your power to stay happy or joyful in your decisions? That's great. That's great to keep it simple and not complicate life as we humans like to do. However, to Digvijay's point, not everybody is as strong and confident as you are, which is great to hear. And Rahul as well, how you're practicing and bettering yourself. I love the wisdom that you guys shared and how amazing it is. I mean, I'm learning from you guys to keep things simple and not complicate. If these feelings persist, though, of exclusion on a deeper level, such as, like I said, whether it's educational, not having the same privileges, whether it's ethnic and just socio-cultural, and it's just not fair, right? It's not in your control. You can't just keep leaving places. Then I definitely would try different things from first my own perspective, such as like speaking to your inner circle of family and friends, addressing the issue as I mentioned, engaging activities as Victoria mentioned that make you feel good, make you feel happy. Exercising is a must in my opinion because you just release endorphins and you better your confidence, and then you can just kind of clearly like think better, right? What else? If these feelings still persist, definitely working alongside one because there's no shame, as Marketa mentioned, in seeking help because together we're stronger. Somebody like myself, or even a therapist, which is even better. Let's say if you belonging isn't a very important thing. The reason why we're talking about this, our sense of belonging is so crucially important, whether introverted or extroverted, that it could impact people in a depression, right? You feel really excluded and down. And if that happens, then know that you're not alone and that you could consult a professional therapist and kind of challenge yourself from a cognitive behavioral therapy perspective, CBT, it's called, where you challenge these thoughts, as Makeda was saying. Is it really true? And you start changing the thoughts that are more productive for you. If there's no proof that somebody, for example, excluded you or said something behind your back, then you start forming like a whole new framework so you can be stronger dealing with the stuff, so that you can kind of strategize and do what you need to do at work or wherever you're being challenged. And self-care, really, like whatever it is they like to do, self-care, definitely. And definitely, since we're such short social beings, expanding your social circle. So engaging in new groups and organizations or hobbies where you're going to meet people, as you guys mentioned, that are like-minded. We're going to support you and make you feel good and not excluded. And get used to the vitamin N, which should be everybody's friend. No, setting boundaries and learning how to say no to protect yourself. That's extremely important, I would say. I can go on and on, but because we talked about the growth mindset in some of our sessions in the past, it's extremely important to build that resilience and growth mindset and seeing this whole thing as a challenge. So instead of us being victims, as you guys said, we don't want to be victims, seeing it like, what can I do to kind of improve new skills, new hobbies, new things, to see this whole thing as a new challenge so I could go where I'm wanted, wanting to always grow and be better instead of feeling like the victim and saying, why me? So that's my little piece for now, since we only have a few minutes.
Thank
I don't
you.
want to take the whole platform. But yes, that's it for me. Hopefully it was useful.
Can I comment just quickly before we go to you, Rahul? I really want to hear from you. So I actually want to. You have not asked me, Gunjan, about my feelings of exclusion. I'm joking. I just want to also share. No. I actually want to share some.
You're introverted, doesn't mean that you shouldn't share.
No, I just like to be introduced by Gunjan. It's like a nice treatment. No, this topic, it's very sensitive, but also private, right? Maybe not all of us want to share when we feel excluded. My feeling of exclusion was something that is now, when I'm older, easier to talk about. So when I was in my high school, I see, for example, in the UK, you all dress up the same. You have these uniforms. So it should kind of help you, like, not to look like, oh, you're the rich kid, you're the poor kid. So I sort of like belong into that kind of, what you call, my father loves to call it lower middle class, which I was irritated. I said, can you at least say middle class and not lower middle class? Like, I want to feel like, so in my high school, we were quite a lot compared to each other based on how much money everybody had. So my coping strategy with that was being always friends with people that are smarter than me. And I know that I will sound like your grandmother or grandfather, but it's true. At the end, look, money and all that, fine, important, true. But at the end, your biggest value and the biggest wealth you have, it's that healthy mind, that, good friends, and that money don't play that much role. Actually, it's, what will really stay with you is that wisdom, that experience, and what have you learned from others. So as I said, like, if you want to be rich, like, just surround yourself with people that are smarter than you, surround yourself with people that are better than you, so you have something nice to attain to, rather than feeling like, oh, I'm not good enough. Like, who is to say, to define those benchmark what is good? That somebody has better shoes, it doesn't make sense, right? So so that is my just 5 cents to it. Yeah, sorry.
We still have to.
You're talking about a socioeconomic exclusion.
Yeah, this was my monetary exclusion. Rahul, sorry.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, so if I had to answer this question, I would like to say that my advice to a person who's facing this problem currently would be try to be in a more welcoming environment where people value you and they appreciate your work as well, and they understand you and help you at times when you feel like you're stuck and you can't go on alone without someone's help. Yeah.
Wonderful, Rahul. Wonderful, Digvijay, Anna, and Marketa. Thank you so
Thank
much for
you.
sharing your story as well. So, to wrap it up, what we understood today, how to deal with the feeling of exclusion. So, exercise, expand your circle, focus on yourself. As Marketa said, be friends with smarter people. Make your circle likewise what you want to be, so that you can get with them and then you learn something from them and then you do it. So this is what we learned from everybody. And we have audience here. We also got one comment. She was very practical. She said that when she felt out, she talked to her mom. What Anna also said, that just get in touch with your family, friends, where you feel like loved, and that is how you can just get over the feeling of exclusion. And here, Market also said some monetary exclusion and how to cope up with that. So you also got that sort of advice. Now, I would, okay, Anna has something to add. Anna, please go on.
Oh, no, I was just saying, I love Maketa's example of the economic, I guess, comparison or exclusion, because it never ends, right? The comparisons of who's got a better car, who's got. But one thing I do agree with is, of course, surrounding yourself with smart people like yourselves, even smarter, just to learn from. And that's why, like, this platform that you guys have built is so amazing, where we all get to share. And I'm pretty sure these numbers will go up if people know how much value and how much we're learning and exchanging here. Just, I mean, anybody can log in. I'm certain that more and more people will be interested, and that these numbers will go up, and we'll get to share interesting topics and more and learn from each other. But yeah, I mean, knowing how to cope with this, I'm just going to end with this. It impacts our whole health overall, right? Physical, somatic, mental, especially. So it's very important to implement these coping strategies, start experimenting with them, and start like applying them, so that you could increase your mental health, so you can be productive, so you can make better decisions and all that good stuff. So I hope that some of these things that we all share with each other, we'll be all implementing and trying out. But this is, as also I think Marketa mentioned, it's one case by case basis. So no strategy works for every person. I love how you guys shared what works for you guys. And I think we all need to keep in mind that let's personalize this with these strategies that work for us individually, right?
Personalizing.
Personalizing with something else. Yes.
I like it.
Or customizing.
Customizing.
Like better.
I like it. Yeah. We have also comments from Laura and Shivang. Laura said, you have the ability to create a space where others feel included and valued. Be a beacon of belonging. Thank you, Laura. Shivang, find like-minded people, love your company, try to become more skillful. These skills make you powerful, and when you have power, then you're very confident to do anything. And Sneha is agreeing. Thank you, Sneha, for being there as well. And who else we have to thank and say hello to, please, Gunjan?
Yeah, so we have already said thanks to everybody, but then now I'm wrapping it up. Special thanks to Anna. Anna, thank you so much for joining us today. Rahul and Digvijay.
Thank you guys for participating and sharing all your wisdom.
You're always doing these last words as well, Rahul and Digvijay. Maybe you want to say last words.
Yes, so that is what I was coming on. So Digvijay and Rahul, any last one-liner to close this session?
It was a wonderful session.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thanks to you. Thanks to you.
Rahul.
Oh, you're getting better and better. Keep it up.
Yeah, if I had to like say my final words, I would like to say that keep upskilling yourself, keep growing, and keep being keep being the main character in your journey.
Nice.
Wonderful.
I love it.
All right. So yes, on that note, I would now conclude it. Next Friday, we are going to come once again. Same timing, which is 2 o'clock UK timing. Topic will be published on our social media. So please keep your eyes on it. This content will be available as a recording. So in case you or your friend or your family didn't join us today, they can see the recording as well. Subscribe us on YouTube. We were also live on Instagram. We had few students, but quality students. And not sure if you are going to come again next week on Instagram, but on YouTube for sure. So please, we will be putting the link and everything. You will get to see that on Instagram as a post. And for now, we are also looking for more learners to be in the panel. Learners, as in it's just not from India, across the globe. If you follow us and if you feel that you have something to share with other learners, please write us on hello@employability.life, or just simply message us on Instagram, Facebook, or get in touch with me or Makita, and we will just let you in. Yes, so we are looking for the learners. Next week's topic we will be telling you via social media. For now, we will be signing off. So thank you very much once again for giving us your precious time. Thank you so much,
Thank you,
learners,
thank
Anna, for coming on the call.
Thank you, Rigvijay. Thank
Thank
you. Thanks so
you.
much, Anna.
It
So
was
nice to
wonderful.
see
Thank you,
you.
guys. Take care.
Bye to Greece.
Bye.
Bye to Nagpur. Bye to Delhi. And we have to also in this.